Ooh, da-da-da, da-da-da. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
Real talk. It's been so long since I've seen this movie. When Mr. Miyagi did this, I thought he was going to do some alchemy crap from Fullmetal Alchemist. I'm not even going to front.
I mean, it's not surprising because what's it called? Because let's be honest, when I first saw this movie, I mean, I've heard of this movie, but when I first saw this movie, it was during the classic G4 block, movies that don't suck. So,
oh my god, you saying that? My left knee just gave out by you saying that.
Yeah,
guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in to a brand new episode of the Buttery Show in honor of Karate Kid Legends. We are finally, after years of talking about this, we are finally tackling the Karate Kid movie series with the one that started it all, 1984's The Karate Kid. I am Leo's son. This is Mike's son. And we are here to talk about 1984's Karate Kid, starring Ralph Macchio, and the true hero of the movie. And that is...
Don't tell him. No, Barney, no, Barney, no.
Zabka.
No,
Johnny
Barney.
Lawrence is the true hero. And I will agree with Mr. Barney Stinson because I'm sorry, the crane kick is super illegal.
And super telegraphed.
It is super illegal.
Honestly,
we're about to really expose ourselves on our martial arts and self-defense background as we discuss this. But I am actually excited to talk about this because also, in case you guys didn't know, my boy Mike here interviewed Mr. Sean Cannon 2 weeks ago.
It's
on Buttery Show.
Karate Kid 3.
I am more excited to review that one because it has my favorite villain in Karate Kid, and that is Mr. Terry Silver.
Oh man, then you're gonna love Cobra Kai seasons 4 through 6.
I know he comes back. I know. Listen, I will also say this. Because we're doing this, I will actually start watching Cobra Kai after we're done with the movies because we'll get into it. But guys, as always, if you are new to the Buttery Show, first of all, thank you guys so much for watching. We greatly appreciate it. There are plenty of our interviews that are going to be coming up very soon for both Pasadena Comic-Con and last weekend's Robo Toy Fest, which, by the way, thank you guys so much who have been riding with Buttery Show and our sister channel, the Morphin Network, for the last almost decade at this point. Thank you guys so much, and thank you guys for coming up, saying hi to us. We greatly appreciate it. It means a lot. Like we do this for fun, but the fact that y'all love what we do, we appreciate it. So thank you. I don't want to get all choked up. Plus, it's Father's Day coming up. So yeah. Anyways, Mike, what are you doing before we even get into the Karate Kid?
Well, like I said, G4 had a block called Movies That Don't Suck, which mainly consisted of a very small group of movies. Like, it would be the same 6 or so films, including the original 1984 Terminator, Legend of the Drunken Master with Jackie Chan, a.k.a. Drunken Master 2, because Legend of the Drunken Master is actually the second movie, but it's the first one to come out in the U.S. A certain prequel to Leo's favorite movie, Tron. And
I'm so excited for Tron 3. I just want everyone to know that. I'm excited for Tron 3.
And of course, Karate Kid. Wait. So hold on. So you're excited for Tron time?
Oh my!
It's Tron.
I thought you were going to talk about Jared Leto. I'm like, listen. I mean, I know
it's Tron in time. Cybertron.
We are Tron. Karate Kid is a 1984 American martial arts drama movie directed by the late John G. Alvidson and written by Robert Mark Kamen. It is the first in the Karate Kid franchise. The film stars Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita, Elizabeth Shrew, and William Zabka. The story follows Daniel Larusso, an Italian-American from New Jersey who moves with his widowed mother to the Reseda area of Los Angeles. There, Larusso encounters harassment from bullies, one of whom is Johnny Lawrence. He's a real bully. The ex-boyfriend of Larusso's love interest. Larusso is taught karate by a handyman and a war veteran named Mr. Miyagi. Not Miyagi. To help
Miyagi
in a karate tournament against his bullies. That's the crux of the story. Like, we're not even gonna get like there's not that much aside from the montage and how our boy Daniel becomes a martial artist. I'm just gonna say this real quick, just off the record. This movie, and I messaged you this, Mike, so I'm gonna say it out loud here. This movie would have only lasted 30 minutes. Real talk.
Yeah, I know. If
our boy
Weathers was his friend, I know.
If Daniel had black friends, this movie would have lasted 30 minutes. I'm just saying, people. I'm just saying, because ain't no way. And don't get me wrong, Cobra Kai had that one black kid in their dojo, which it's the 80s. They were trying to meet a quota. Let's talk about it real quick. So this movie, the budget was $8 million and made back over $130.8 million. This is probably one of the highest grossing movies at the time in the 80s, in 1984. It was considered a sleeper hit of the year. Obviously, we were not born in the 80s. We're early 90s kids. So there you go. But yeah, so let's talk about the crew. Let's talk about our boy, Mr. Ralph Macchio. Ralph Macchio. I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know how to stay young, one, get that alkaline in your life. Number two, mind your business and stay out of trouble. Don't do drugs. Ralph Macchio has done all. Ralph Macchio did the entire criteria. Don't do all that just stuff. And we love Ralph Macchio. You will never hear any bad thing about me. You will never hear me say anything bad about Ralph Macchio.
So you thought he gave a brilliant performance in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Undead?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
This man was also in one of my favorite movies, The Outsiders. My favorite drama.
He played Narancia.
Yeah.
Narancia!
No. He was an outsider.
I just wanted to go back to school. Stay golden, Giorno.
Oh my God. He was also in my favorite Joe Pesci and Marissa Tomei movie, My Cousin Vinny, which, by the way,
that was Tomei.
Yep. To this day, this movie is being studied in law school because of how accurate it is when it comes to how the courtroom is worked, how being a defender, a lawyer, a prosecutor, how everything works. To this day, this movie is freaking. My Cousin Vinny is now 35 years old. No, about 33. 33 years old. And this movie is still being studied today. So shout out to all my homies who are in law school right now watching this movie for free and taking notes. He was also.
I still can't get over the fact that MCU's Aunt May and Wilson Fisk dated each other in a romance film involving time travel. My mind just went off on that tangent, but still, it's a crazy man.
He was also in Eight Is Enough, Ugly Betty, and was in the drama show The Deuce. And obviously, he did come back for Cobra Kai and the movie.
You mean How I Met Your Mother?
He was also in How I Met Your Mother. Thank you.
Yeah.
He was also in Hitchcock. And last but not least, he's currently in. He just finished up with Cobra Kai, and now we're in the new movie coming out, which is actually out right now, Karate Legends. Ralph Macchio is a legend himself, and we love him for that. Speaking of legends,
he actually is a black belt in Ryugi-Do, and he was in Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, he was. Thank you for reminding me of that. Thank you for reminding me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's also talk about the hero, Mr. Johnny Lawrence himself, William Zabka. William Zabka. We love William Zabka here as well.
I actually met William Zabka during the premiere of Karate Kid Cobra Kai season 5.
How is he?
He was really nice. He did not try to kick my ass for taking a selfie with him, so that's good. Yeah, I even did a spinning hook kick in front of the Eagle Fang van, and what didn't occur to me until like watching those first 2 episodes during the premiere was, now that I think about it, spinning hook kick is actually Johnny's like go-to move. It's the one move he always does. Like you know how Chuck Norris always uses a round kick? Well, like Johnny Lawrence uses the spinning hook kick. I'm like, geez, I never thought I'd have this much in common with him.
Well, aside from karate, I mean, he's been in all 3 Karate Kid movies, and he is apparently in Karate Kid Legends. He was also in National Lampoon's European Vacation, Back to School, A Tiger's Tale. He was in
one movie we have to review at some point.
Which one?
Shoot Fighter.
Oh God, yeah, Shoot Fighter.
Yeah, Shoot Fighter. Yeah, it features freaking it features Albert, what's his name from Power Rangers Time Force. You know, Wes's dad, and it's got freaking Mike Bernardo, Eric Betts, Hakeem Alston, and Chris Casamassa. It's like, you gotta watch this movie.
At some point, we will watch Shoot Fighter. Matter of fact, yeah, Shoot Fighter Fight to the Death. Was that the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Zabka co-starred with Mike Bernardo.
Yeah, he was in both movies, Shoot Fighter 2. He was also in Falcon Down, Python 1 and 2. Kane was in Hot Tub Time Machine. And then obviously How I Met Your Mother. He was in 12 episodes of The Equalizer, the 80s Equalizer, not the Queen Latifah one. He was in one episode of Robot Chicken. He was in How I Met Your Mother. He actually became a recurring actor during the final season. He was in the episode Psych. Obviously he was in Cobra Kai. He was actually one of the executive producers of an episode as well. And then we got the legend himself, Mr. Pat Morita. May he rest in peace.
This is a story all about how I learned karate from a cool guy. He's from Okinawa, but sit down, son, because we're going to hang out right here in Reseda.
This man's filmography, I don't even know where to begin. Happy Days, Hawaii 5-0, MASH, Cannon, Punch and Jody, Mr. T and Tina, Welcome Back, Cotter. He was also in one episode of the Incredible Hulk show. He was in all the Karate Kid movies, the first four. Yeah. American Ninja 5, and then Spy Hard, Bloodsport 2, The Next Kumite. He was in one episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was the episode where Lisa learned self-defense and beat the fool that beat up Will Smith. Mm-hmm. I remember that episode very vividly. And in case you guys didn't know this, Pat Morita, before he became a big actor, was a comedian.
Yeah.
In fact, one of his best friends who helped him with his career was Mr. Red Fox. And I actually have a clip. I did a couple of pieces of editing, but for those of y'all who want to know, this is Pat Morita as a comedian.
Where is a Japanese guy in the whole world ever going to work the Apollo Theater? And, he had a tough time convincing me. He says, oh, come on, Pat, just be yourself. I said, Red, I ain't been Japanese since December 1941. Found a lot of unusual things about black people. I mean, I found, for instance, that all black people can't use chopsticks. But then again, who needs them with ribs? Oh, and they cooked great greens. I love the greens. And there was out of sight cornbread and gravy and sweet potato pie. But I gotta tell you, gang, they are messing up the rice.
Funny enough, I just bought some chopsticks.
But no, if you want to see more Pat Morita's stand-up comedy, it's on YouTube. That was from the Red Fox show. Red Fox used to have a comedy show where he had comedians come up and stuff like that. Keep in mind, Red Fox was a pretty dirty comedian. Like, he was cussing and stuff like that. But because this show was on national television, he couldn't really do a lot of cussing. But Pat Morita is such a gem. I have before Mike told me that we were going to be doing Karate Kid, my algorithm told me to look at Pat Morita, and that's what I did for the last month or so. And I have to say, I gotta tell you, gang, Pat Morita's funny as hell. I'm just gonna keep it I'm gonna keep it 100. Pat Morita is funny as hell.
Even in the movie, even in the Karate Kid movies, he's pretty funny.
Oh, he said a couple of jokes. I'm like, that's funny. Low-key, I think Ralph Macchio may have broke character a couple of times on some of those jokes too.
Yeah. Anyway. It's like I love the part where it's like Ralph Macchio is like trying to catch that flag. Hey, it's Miyagi, I got it. Beginner's luck.
And then I have to mention this. We also have Elizabeth Shue. Now, I don't remember if this is our first Elizabeth Shue movie. I think we've talked about her before. But first, I know who Elizabeth Shue is. She was Marty's girlfriend, Back to the Future Part 2 and 3. They replaced the original actress from the first movie. She was in The Saint, Leaving Las Vegas, The Hollow Man, Piranha 3D, Cocktail, Battle of the Sexes, Death Wish, Greyhound, and she is currently in Amazon Prime's The Boys. She was a recurring character, and then she's been in the freaking little cartoon that was going on. She was also in an episode of Gen V, and I think she's gonna be coming back in Vought Uprising, where it's talking about Soldier Boy and Stormfront. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, one thing we did not mention about Pat Morita is that he actually played himself in one of the most dairy episodes of Robot Chicken, where Joey Fatone has to fight against Britney Spears in the Invitational Yakuza Karate Tournament in Enter the Fat One.
And he also, and keep in mind, Joey Fatone did train with Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and some bootleg version of Smoke who can also shoot fire.
Yeah, and he trained with all 4 Ninja Turtles, one of whom owes us $20.
You owe us $20, Corey Feldman. You owe us $20, Corey Feldman.
And of course, Hello Kitty.
Before I tell y'all when I watched this movie, Corey, to give you guys just give you the inside joke, we were all a week and a half before, 2 weeks before COVID, if I remember correctly, 2 weeks before COVID, a Corey Feldman documentary was come out. We paid $20 for it. We all went to our boy Jason's house, and the site crashed. We all pitched in, and it crashed. Corey Feldman owes us all $20 each. That's all I'll say. But you've already talked about how you first watched Karate Kid was during movies that don't suck on G4.
Yeah.
I watched Karate Kid for the first time. This was back in 2003. It's around the time Power Rangers Ninja Storm was out. It was also around the time where they had ABC Family had a Saturday block where they had like new episodes of Power Rangers, and they did the Destiny Unknown 6 Ranger Marathon. That's on the Sundays though. The Sundays were dedicated to movies and other shows that weren't really getting airtime on Saturdays. So like if you missed Beyblade on that Saturday, you can watch the rerun of the last 2 episodes and the new episode that you missed. And then they showed like Back to the Future Part 2, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Johnny Tsunami, and then obviously Karate Kid.
I've never seen Johnny Tsunami outside of literally Disney Channel.
Well, there you go. I was 7, maybe 8 years old, if I remember correctly, when I first watched Karate Kid. So it's been about 23 years since the last time I watched Karate Kid. So rewatching this movie brought back a lot of memories. And funny enough, Karate Kid is one of the reasons why I tried Kempo karate. To give you guys a little history, a little thing about us. I did a couple of years of karate when I was a kid, and then in my high school years, I did a little mixed martial arts. I was part of that friend group who would be doing karate after school and stuff like that. You all at some point you all know a certain group of people who were doing karate outside, like right after school in the front lawn of the school, doing better karate than Buster Rhymes in Halloween Resurrection. And then I ended up doing boxing when I was in college and stuff. So that's just mine. I'm gonna go check on my kid real quick. I'll be right back. Hold on, right back.
Yeah, for me, I took. Okay, see, what I can relate to this movie is that my martial arts background did, in fact, start at the Y. Not just at some community gym, specifically at the Y. And it was not the best experience I've had. I mean, like, I got the basic. I had a basic understanding of middle, high, low punch, inside block, and kicking. They didn't even distinguish the kicks from one another, and they rarely had rank tests. Very, very rarely. But yeah, no, I learned a little bit of Kenpo in at the Y, and I kind of stopped going. But then later on, I started taking martial arts for real. I studied Tang Soo Do, which is the fighting style that was adapted into Cobra Kai. So basically, it's I know I could say I know real life Cobra Kai karate. And yeah, I spent a couple of years studying it. But I also incorporated Northern Shaolin and Filipino Kali and Indonesian Penjat Silat into the fighting style, and really learning about different fighting styles was probably the most interesting aspect for me, because it's really trying to understand where they overlap, where the historical philosophies transition from one fighting style to the next. What elements of the fighting style one style focuses more on and another focuses differently on. So for example, one might be more focused on stance, while another one might focus more on breathing, for example. Some focus on closed fist striking, while others use open hand striking. It's always been a fascination for me, and I think a lot of my interest in martial arts actually started out with a certain TV show known as VR Troopers.
Trooper Transform!
Yeah, because Ryan and JB were both karate instructors in that show. So I always wanted to learn karate because of VR Troopers. Yes, most people wanted to start because of Power Rangers. Me, it's because of VR Troopers.
Me with Power Rangers and Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Oh man,
Power
I remember
Rangers, Dragon Ball. And funny enough, this is a weird one. The New Adventures of Johnny Quest.
What's really weird is that I had this one classmate in the 4th grade who was a total idiot. He's in his 30s now, so I can totally say it present day. But the thing is, we were both in the 4th grade at the same time. But the thing is, he had no formal martial arts training, and he based his fighting style off of Dragon Ball Z in the most ill-conceived way possible. You know what his high block is? This. You know what his low block is? Literally doing this.
What?
Yes. He lifts his leg up while crossing his arms. It's just because in Dragon Ball Z people cross their arms to block a ki blast, it's not going to protect you from a real... Exactly.
Mid!
Not even mid. You give that too much credit.
Anyways, but yeah, that's our background when it comes to martial arts and pretty much combat sports in general. Let's get started on this movie. So, as we said before, as the synopsis said, so Daniel's son is from New Jersey. Okay, so he never met Tony Soprano at any point.
But he has met some guy that was loosely related to his landlady in California.
That is true. And so he gets invited to this little beach party, which I gotta say this right now. I am so glad to know that playing soccer on the beach is as old as time itself, because seeing a 1980s movie where you are seeing people play soccer in the sand, I'm like, I am so glad that our generation was not the only one doing this. I am very happy about that, because in case you guys want to know, playing soccer on the beach is some of the most fun crap you'll ever do. Aside from beach volleyball, aside from beach football, playing beach soccer in LA weather, whether you're at Santa Monica, whether you're in Malibu, one of the beaches in Malibu or Palisades, it is so much fun. Like, trust me, if anyone who's not from Cali and y'all want to go to the beach and y'all are soccer fanatics, do that. It's fun. Also, you'll meet chicks too. I'm just saying. Anyways,
yeah. Like his homeboy Frank, he tried to break the ice for him.
Speaking of chicks, our boy Daniel meets Allie, and then you find that Allie's ex-boyfriend happens to be the true hero. Okay, I'm joking. Happens to be Johnny Lawrence, and his whole little goon squad is from the Cobra Kai. They whoop on freaking Daniel, and turns out they all are going through the same school. These guys.
Here's what's really interesting is first time we see Johnny and his gang, like he's like, hey, I'm gonna be an ex-delinquent. You know, it's senior year. I gotta take myself more seriously. And I'm thinking, thinking back on it, it's like, oh, dude, like if he wasn't such an asshole, like it would be cool to see like him like become like a respectable gentleman. And honestly, first time you watch the movie, that's probably what you're thinking. Like I wanna grab myself by the bootstraps and become a better person. And I'm wondering, how would the series have been differently if he actually followed through on his promise to his friends that he's going to become an ex-delinquent?
I mean,
guess we're never going to know.
We'll never know until Cobra Kai.
Yeah, the end of Cobra Kai.
Anyways, so Daniel, also they cost Daniel an opportunity to get on the soccer team at the school. And then Daniel meets Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi is the handyman at their apartment. And Mr. Miyagi sees that Daniel is trying to practice karate, like doing his high kicks, she's just trying straight up kick, which whenever you're taking martial arts, people, it's not just kicking. It's not, you need to find a balance of both kicking and punching. And there's a certain way you have to punch, and there's a certain way you have to kick. And I'm talking to all the dudes, and Mike, you should know this. I'm pretty sure we knew all those guys. Hold up. I'm pretty sure we know a good portion of guys who would fight like this or fight like this instead of fighting like this. We all like anyone in the audience,
or fight like this,
or fight like this. When you to the people who used to fight like this, I really hope you. I hope your life is good. I hope that you are prospering in life, and you learn to never do this while fighting again. Like this shouldn't be your stance. Okay.
This is not how you block anything.
This is not how you block.
No.
Okay?
No.
It's all about motion.
No.
That wax on, listen, wax on, wax off.
You gotta block. You gotta block.
Wax on, wax off may be silly, but it will teach you how to properly block.
Okay?
or parry, or better yet, if you know a fool can't kick, telegraph, grab, throw. Okay. Anyways, so Miyagi, one day, Johnny Lawrence and his little gang run Daniel off of the road while he's on his bike, and I'm over here. I'm like, only in the 80s can bullies get away with almost first-degree murder or vehicular manslaughter.
Yeah, and by the way, just to be clear, contrary to Johnny's side of the story, because as you know, if you've ever seen Rashomon, there's always 3 versions of a story, and quoted by Sean Kanan in his book Way of the Cobra, there's my way, there's your way, and then there's the truth. And Johnny was not just talking to Elizabeth Shue, because he straight up grabbed her boombox and threw it on the ground.
Bruh. Dude, I really want.
And that's before Daniel intervened, by the way.
Matter of fact, yeah. And so he gets pissed. Also, he tried to go to the Cobra Kai dojo because he wanted to learn karate. But right now,
real karate, not the Y karate.
Yeah, not karate at the local Y, as Ryan Reynolds would say in Blade Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
But and he throws his bike away because he's like, I'm sick of it. I'd rather just take the bus. Mr. Miyagi cleans up not only fixes his bike, but also teaches him how to properly trim a bonsai tree.
Bonsai tree.
Yeah.
Bonsai.
Not bonsai. Bonsai.
Bonsai. Bonsai is a Japanese betting show.
Mm-hmm.
Bonsai.
Unbeatable Bonzuki.
Unbeatable Bonzuki is a completely different show from that.
I know.
Like a Piero. Man, your crotch must have to hurt if you're going to use a unicycle against a freaking Ninja Warrior Sasuke style obstacle course.
So, Mr. Miyagi, he starts to befriend Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi's telling him to go to this Halloween dance and stuff, and he does. He dresses up as a shower head, like a shower curtain, pulls a prank on Johnny Lawrence, and also causes like vehicular damage because, like, with that 5-car pileup, I'm sorry, if I'm gonna use logic, you are going to jail. You are going to jail. If you're not going to jail, you're doing community service. Mm-hmm. But there's no logic. I keep forgetting. Before certain events in this country, there's a rule. There's no such thing as logic. So Daniel runs. They catch up to him. They start beating on him. Bobby is the only guy in the Cobra Kai crew that's saying, yo, we're taking this too far. You need to stop. But obviously, the slogan of the Cobra Kai dojo is no mercy.
Strike first. Strike hard. First, no mercy.
No mercy. And as they're about to probably do a death blow on Daniel, Mr. Miyagi comes in, whoops them all, and gets them out of there. Mr. Miyagi and Daniel are talking about, like, hey, we could totally talk to this guy, maybe make sure, like, yo, we can like make an agreement because your students is jumping me. But obviously, our boy sorry, I was joking a little bit. John Kreese, played by Martin Cove, who is also a long-standing character in this franchise, actor for this franchise, because he's in Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3, and he's in Cobra Kai. And also, I didn't realize he made an appearance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino movies of all time, personally. So he's saying, yo, you can't defend yourself. What's up with you, right? And so, Mr. Miyagi said that.
Oh, do we mention the Halloween dance?
Yes, we already mentioned that.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Daniel was definitely in the wrong at the Halloween dance because Johnny was minding his own business, rolling up a joint, but Daniel had to prank him. If he did not prank him, Johnny might have left him alone. Who knows? Might have still been an intimidating asshole, but he wouldn't.
Hold up. And listen, in Daniel's defense, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. These fools started messing with Daniel. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. I don't care if you're rolling up a blunt. Don't bully me.
As Mr. Miyagi would say, revenge make person blind. You have to dig two graves.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I'm from the hood. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. This is exactly why I keep saying, if Daniel Larusso had black friends, this movie will only lasted half an hour. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
And before y'all be like, well, like, first of all, I want to make this abundantly clear, because they're like, well, what are black people going to do? Like, first of all, if you grew up I'm a '90s kid. If you grew up, but I have plenty of uncles and plenty of aunts who told me that back in the 70s, because of the rise of martial arts, because of thanks to Bruce Lee and other icons out there, especially with that, what was that show? Damn. What was
Green Hornet?
Huh?
Green Hornet?
No. Well, aside from Green Hornet, what was that show that David Carradine was on? That old show, and they got remade recently.
Not sure. I know that there was Fall Guy, but that's about a stunty.
Hold on.
Who's a debt collector?
Kung Fu. There we go. Kung Fu. The show Kung Fu. It got remade recently. David Carradine was in the show Kung Fu, and keep in mind, because karate and martial arts were becoming big in the Western world, more karate studios and dojos start opening up, especially in the hood. I'm just saying. So, like I said, if Daniel had black friends, he would be okay, because the majority of the black people in the 80s was potentially doing karate and taekwondo. He would have been set. The Cobra Kai crew would have never bothered Daniel to begin with. I'll leave it at that. So Miyagi's like, you know what? No. Hold up. We won't do this right. That karate tournament, it's going to be coming up in 2 months. We'll meet you there. I'm going to train him. You train your boy Johnny, and we're going to do this like men. So Miyagi starts to train Daniel. Wax on, wax off. Brush like this. Brush to the sides. Make sure to breathe. Don't worry. I'm going to teach you karate. But do this first.
No, not like this. Like
wax
this.
On,
like this.
Wax off and breathe. By the way, the boombox that Johnny Lawrence broke, I had to look up the price for boomboxes. Boomboxes back in the 80s would cost like $50 to almost $300, with some high-end models reaching $700. This is almost roughly what, like 2, maybe 3 G's today. So boomboxes were expensive, and $50 back in the 80s would have gotten you at least a month worth of groceries alone, maybe 2 or 3 months of groceries alone. Because buying groceries today, I spent $25 on fruit.
Yeah.
I'm to our younger audience, it wasn't like this back in the 90s and the 2000s. Groceries didn't cost this much back in our day. Okay. So, anyways, while all this training is going on, obviously Daniel has the hots for Allie. He takes her out. And she has like, you know, that bougie ass rich mom and dad who are like, oh, you're going out with that kid from Reseda. Why don't you go out with some kid who's like nice and has, you know, I'm like, okay, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. Let them have a good time. Also, the rule is before this tournament, but before the tournament, do not mess with Daniel. Daniel won't mess with Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Oh my God. I guess you have people at the Halloween party. Daniel was in the wrong, but at the beach, it was Johnny. Bobby was at fault in the football field. Oh yeah, that's why Bobby apologized. Bobby is the only remorseful person in Cobra Kai, in the Cobra Kai crew. Question, because you watch Cobra Kai. Does Bobby come back?
Yeah, season 2.
Okay, making sure.
Actually, all of the Cobras come back in season 2, except for one. The actor who played Dutch declined to return. So they basically said that Dutch was in prison. But there was another member of the group who was sick with a terminal disease. I think it was cancer. But the actor had cancer in real life. So while he did film his scenes, the actor did pass away before they actually aired the episode on YouTube Red.
Oh, that's sad. That's really.
But at least he actually had the episode there, But yeah, Bobby was a lot more prominent in season 2 onward, and honestly, he was like one of my favorites, like minor characters in Cobra Kai.
Oh, hold on. Preston A. Scott. Johnny was an ass. He started being abusive to his ex-girlfriend, a girl Daniel, not knowing anything, observed the situation of what was in front of him and handed the radio back to Allie and Johnny. Pushed Daniel, so Johnny started it. Thank you. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Johnny should have never messed with Daniel. I don't give a damn. And you shouldn't have been an a-hole to your ex-girlfriend. I'm just saying. I know it's the 80s, but I'm just don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Okay? Just like Amanda going to Tori's work, she didn't know about the situation with her mom neither. Do I think she cared? She tried to murder her daughter as the most parents. Oh damn. Anyways.
Yeah, when Tori was just up as a mermaid. Yeah. Wait, hold on. That's probably spoilers for you. Like, I don't know how far you are on Cobra Kai.
I don't watch Cobra Kai, so I don't.
Bruh.
I told everyone from the beginning. I have not watched. Let me back up and retrace my steps. I never watched Cobra Kai when it was on YouTube, because I remember when YouTube Red was a big thing, right? They tried to have like original shows, and Cobra Kai was one of them. I remember the hype to Cobra Kai, that's for sure. I remember how hyped everyone was for Cobra Kai. Personally, I mean, I didn't really watch it. I heard good things about it, especially from my nieces and nephews. And I was like, all right, I'll watch season 2. And then I didn't watch season 2, and then it then jumped to Netflix, and then all my students from the previous schools I worked at were saying, yo, you gotta watch Cobra Kai, Mr. Leo. Cobra Kai is awesome. Did you ever watch the movies growing up? You're old enough to watch them. And I'm like, first of all, watch your mouth. I'm not that old. But yeah, so no, I have not watched Cobra Kai. So I know for a fact that after we're done with the first 4 Karate Kid movies and then Kung Fu Kid with Jaden Smith, I'm gonna watch Karate Kid, but I'm gonna watch Cobra Kai before I watch Karate Kid Legends.
All 65 episodes?
Yes, all 65 episodes.
All 65.
All 65 episodes. I will watch it after I finish Double Zeta and Shark's Counterattack. Anyways.
Because you do know we're doing all 6 movies this month. Which means you...
Dog, I am watching G-Quack's Double Zeta, and I'm trying to finish the Universal Century. A timeline before I go to either After Colony or freaking Seed.
All I'm going to say is I have not watched Karate Kid 6 yet, so as of the time of this video, so I can't assume to know that anything that happened in Cobra Kai is prerequisite viewing, other than the fact that, Johnny and Daniel are homies by that point. But, it's a journey.
it's short. Well, to shorten it for you, everyone's an ass to Daniel, but yet to most, it's Daniel's fault somehow. See, okay, the one thing I do know is that Daniel apparently, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, in the first season or two, wasn't a complete d-bag to Johnny Lawrence, and Johnny Lawrence was honestly just trying to be like, "Yo, I'm actually trying to, I switched my life around. I'm trying to teach these kids correctly and stuff like that, but while still having the same slogan." You know, strike hard, strike first,
strike hard, no mercy.
No mercy. But I'm trying to do it in a way where it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
let's see how that plays out.
Anyway, so throughout this time, Daniel's also trying to be like, yo, why am I doing all this? Why am I doing your chores? And so Mr. Miyagi finally showed him by attacking him.
Wax on, wax up. No, not this.
Yes.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off. Now. Hi. I would kick, but I can't. I'm sitting on my couch.
And then Pat Morita summons a stand. It's like, I'm just kidding.
Anyways, so the true training begins, and as this is going on, what do you call it? He's also trying to get another date with Ali, and Ali is going to this father-daughter date or whatever, and then Johnny Lawrence is there. Johnny Lawrence, and then Ralph Macchio sneaks into the little community center, and Johnny Lawrence sees him and tries to mac on Ali.
Basically, he tries to pull a Dio Brando.
You thought that you would be your first kiss, but it was me.
It was I, Johnny.
Quello Dio da.
Quello Johnny da.
No. Or in the words of the day, it was me, Austin. So, anyways, so
Ellie, you thought that Daniel Larusso would be your first kiss, but it was actually I, Johnny Lawrence.
So Daniel leaves. He doesn't even see that Ali punches the hell out of Johnny and goes back to Mr. Miyagi.
She bat smacks him. Mm-hmm. So much so she has a sprained hand from it.
With the 5-hand say to the face, slap!
5-finger sandwich.
Cold-blooded. Anyways, Daniel goes back to Mr. Miyagi's house, and Mr. Miyagi is drunk because it is the anniversary of him and his wife's anniversary, and you learn that he was a sergeant during World War II, and
he was in the Western theater. No, he was in the Atlantic theater.
Yes,
European theater. Meaning he didn't fight against the Japanese, he fought against the Germans. But so yes, more JoJo reference. It's the Germans. Meanwhile, unfortunately, while he was like performing his military service, his wife was pregnant, and FDR signed Executive Order 9066. Which forces all Japanese residents of the United States and some Chinese people, because let's be honest, a lot of Americans can't tell the difference, were sent into internment.
Damn.
No, it's true. Some of the internment camp prisoners were not actually Japanese because they just didn't want to assume that a person wasn't Japanese.
Oh, I know. I trust me. I know all about the internment camps. Trust me on that.
And I do wonder if the reason why Star Wars used specifically the number 66, Execute Order 66, was explicitly because of 9066 from FDR. I mean, I'm not going to Google that. I'm not going to verify it or not. But yeah. So basically, while Morita's fighting in the front lines, his wife was in an internment camp and died of complications, causing both her and their child to pass away.
Yeah.
It's effed
And
up.
and then he passes out because he's drunk. And
what's
real
crazy
quick,
is that he reads the letters verbatim. Like he recites the letters verbatim while intoxicated. That's the saddest part.
And then Daniel reads them. And I think that's when Daniel's like, "Yo, I gotta take this. I gotta take my training a little more serious now. We gotta get for realsies now." And so now he is learning how to properly punch, and is learning more of the crane style. Which again, we'll talk about that when we get there. Mr. Miyagi, for Daniel's birthday, gives him his gi. And he lets him pick any car.
A choice of 4 cars.
Because Daniel also
and
has
of course he
license.
gets Bumblebee.
Yeah, he got his license too.
The driver don't pick the car pick driver.
And so he rides to go grab. I gotta send you a video. Later on. But then he goes to go find Allie. Allie's mad because of the fact that he has been avoiding her
and being a jerk.
Yeah, he was being a jerk, and again, miscommunication.
You're from the hills. I'm from Reseda.
Miscommunication. Okay, and the difference of 2 classes. We've seen this, and obviously before he was like, "Well, it's not like we've never seen this before." You're right. We've seen this again. We saw this before this movie came out. And now it's with the outsiders, with the Soches and the greasers.
Soches and the greasers. Yeah, which Daniel-san has experience with because Naranjo was a greaser.
Shake. Anyway.
Yeah, it's crazy that like a lot of people don't catch this, but both Giorno Giovanna and Pony Boy are both originally brunettes that dyed their hair blonde, and they wanted to make something better of themselves, and their tagline is "Stay Gold." So, yeah, a lot of people don't notice, but Giorno Giovanna was Pony Boy.
But yeah, so
but
she forgives him because then he finds out that because he left so early, he didn't see her back in the hell out of Johnny Lawrence. So
what's funny is that the person to talk him straight was actually one of her friends that did not like him.
Yeah, because she's a sport. Most of the girls in this movie are spoiled rich girls. I'm just gonna put it out there. Ali just so happens to not be one of them, but it's also Elizabeth Shue. Elizabeth Shue is not going to play the bad guy. That comes late. That comes later when she's older. And I'm not just talking the boys. Okay, she's played plenty of bad guys throughout her life. There's one specific movie, I can't remember the name of it, but if you know, you know. Like I'll put it like this: have you ever seen what was it called? American what was that movie with Kevin Spacey again? American something?
Oh, American Beauty.
American Beauty. She has her own movie, American Beauty movie. I'll leave it at that. So
I'm not looking forward to like having to Google that.
Yeah, it came out.
So I'm not gonna.
2018. So
yeah,
have fun with that. So next year, after she also knows about the karate tournament, and so our climactic scene, our climactic moment. Daniel is at this tournament. Mr. Miyagi sneaks a black belt so he could tie his gi, and we see
because you have to be brown belts or higher.
Yeah, you gotta be a brown belt or higher, otherwise you can't compete. So Miyagi, great Buddha blessed you with this black belt. Don't say.
And I have to wonder, don't they nowadays? You have an actual document to prove that you're a black belt. And your actual belt has like an actual serial number. So like I wonder, like in the 80s, did they actually keep track of who earned a black belt?
You want to know why? we haven't reviewed a movie yet. One of my favorite martial arts movies of all time, Bloodsport. I cannot wait to talk about Bloodsport because we're going to talk about Frank Dukes. This man, for years, and I mean years, made us all think that that movie was based off actual crap that happened to him. I cannot wait to talk about Bloodsport when we finally discuss it. This movie is turning 40 next year, or is it or 28 or in 28. We need to review Bloodsport. We need to.
I'll say this though. What was I gonna say? But yeah, no, it's kind of
88.
interesting. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that like Miyagi made a very good point. Like it's like a belt, like you don't need a black belt to be good at karate, which is true. You can be learned privately by someone who's already an expert, but not have like the formal ranking done. You just like diligently learn all the techniques and everything.
Yep.
But the thing is, when you have like organized, board certified tournaments where liabilities and sponsorships are a thing, you kind of need to have some kind of documentation that you have developed the necessary amount of knowledge in this craft in order to participate. It's like if you're a back alley doctor, technically you wouldn't have, a medical degree to perform cancer surgery. And who knows, maybe you could be good at performing cancer surgery. But if you apply to work at an actual hospital, they need some kind of documentation to prove that you, in fact, know how to perform cancer surgery. And the number of successful surgeries you've performed in the past isn't consequential to the hiring process. Which is why, yes, at tournaments, having a belt rank is important because, and conversely, just because you've earned a rank doesn't mean that you are being disciplined in how you use the fighting style outside of the dojo, e.g., Johnny Lawrence. Because, Sensei Kreese is an asshole. That goes without saying. But the thing is, generally speaking, the whole point of learning martial arts is to not need to use martial arts. It's a last resort. Like, you don't go around showing off your fighting skills. You don't go around looking for a fight, especially not to prove anything. You do actively try to avoid fights. Like, to an attack, there are 5 stages. If you are able to cancel out any one of those 5 stages, you also cancel out the subsequent stages and thus prevent the attack. And the first element of these 5 stages is intent. A person has to want to fight in order to fight. Second is opportunity. A person must be present to perform the attack. So if you actively avoid someone who is a threat, there's a minimized chance that they are going to threaten you.
Here's a quick question. Because since we're talking about Sensei Kreese, in the movie, I saw the pictures. I did see the pictures. I actually rewinded it a couple of times.
He was in Vietnam, if that's what you're asking.
He was a non-vet.
Yeah, Kreese and Silver fought in Vietnam, and okay. It's actually really interesting because the actor who plays Silver is actually younger than Ralph Macchio. But
listen. Hold up. I don't want to go too far ahead because we will talk about that part when we get to part 3. Okay. So my point being that season 3 of Cobra Kai actually goes more in depth about Kreese's experience in Vietnam. So
Buckle up, shorty.
All right.
Yeah.
So the martial arts tournament, pretty good, and I loved every single part of it. I'm not gonna lie, because you also have the little kids doing karate, and then you have obviously the teenagers doing karate and stuff. Obviously Daniel is whooping the majority of Cobra Kai's butt, and even some of the other students from different dojos are whooping some of the karate Cobra Kai.
What's really cool is that one of the 4 semifinalists, along with Daniel, Daniel, Johnny, and Bobby, the 4th semifinalist, I think his name is
Filipino
Barrett.
Dude?
Yeah, the Filipino dude. He actually plays himself in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. Anyways, but so in the semifinal round, Kreese tells Bobby to take out Johnny. Not take out Johnny, take out Daniel. And he does a jumping a jump kick going down, kicking the hell out of Daniel's knee. Like, he was trying to turn Daniel's knee into a wishbone. Like, if you've ever watched that one fight in UFC when it was Chris Weidman versus Anderson Silva, and when Anderson Silva kicked and Chris Weidman blocked, it snapped Anderson Silva's leg.
Or when Jerry Ferrara fought against Ronda Rousing for 30 seconds to win a day with her.
But no,
like,
so
give it up, Turtle. It's like, no, I just want to take you on a date.
So, and Bobby, who again is the most remorseful person in the crew, is saying, Daniel, I'm sorry. I had no choice. They made me do this. I'm sorry. I did not want to do this. And now Daniel has 10 minutes to get better,
15.
or he will have to forfeit in the finals. And so Mr. Miyagi does some alchemy, opens the gates, and repairs Daniel's leg for the final match between him and Johnny Lawrence. Johnny Lawrence is sweeping the leg like a mother and is kicking the hell out of him.
Sweep the leg. And you can see the look on Johnny's face when he says it. It's like, are you deaf? Sweep the leg.
Like,
and one of the other Cobra Kai is like, yeah, put him in a body bag.
Put him in a body bag. I'm like, hey, yo, chill. Y'all are kids. Don't do that. Yeah. And so Daniel, I don't know if they're like neck and neck with points. Daniel crane styles. And does
the most telegraphed fighting technique ever.
And wins the tournament. And that's the end of the movie. Yeah! 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 Yeah!
And Mr. Miyagi's like, oh yeah. And also Johnny Lawrence is like, it's like, you're not so bad. Here, you can have this. Which is so out of character. When you
wasn't Johnny, that was Bobby.
No, it was Johnny who gives him the trophy.
That was Bobby.
It was Johnny.
It was Bobby, bro.
Johnny. I'm telling you, Johnny handed him the trophy. He's got the same black eye and everything.
Hold on.
Which is totally out of character for Johnny when you consider that he's like super like resentful of Daniel and Cobra Kai, because it's like, bro, like, did you not? It's like, Johnny, did you not watch the first 5 minutes of Karate Kid 2? Watching it right now. Remember,
that wasn't him. That was Bobby.
No, he's got the black guy. It was totally Johnny.
No, because remember, wasn't he wearing? Hold up.
Johnny had the black guy. Remember?
Hold on. I'm actually watching this.
Look, even the video says Johnny.
Okay. You're right. Johnny did it. Johnny. Look, all the
But there
blonde
was
characters
there
look
was
alike.
an alternate
Okay?
ending. There was an alternate ending though, where at the end of the movie, Bobby decides to join Miyagi-Do. So I get where you're coming from. But
Okay,
yes, Bobby was the most remorseful. He's the one who felt the worst about it. And it makes total sense why Bobby becomes what he becomes in Cobra Kai. I'm not going to spoil that to you because you haven't watched season 2 yet.
Johnny B. We will. Have we talked about the Back to the Future movies on here?
I don't think we reviewed Back to the Future yet.
I gotta look. I'll look on the archives, but
I will
overall,
say so. It is 2025, so it will be the 40th anniversary.
we could do it.
Can you believe it?
Let's do it in October. Let's do it in October.
Can you believe it? Future Day was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Future Day.
Future Day was 10 years ago, bro.
Sharks 19 was 10 years ago.
Yo. October, Back to the Future month.
Exactly. Yeah.
Remember, in 1955, in October of 1955, that bolt of lightning struck
a DeLorean.
No, not the DeLorean. Originally the clock tower, but then struck the DeLorean because they went back.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, all right, I'm gonna go first. Real quick. I'm gonna make it short. Considering the fact that it's been 20 years since I've seen this movie, over 20 years since I've seen this movie, I enjoyed it. I like the motifs. I like the what this movie would set up for future karate-esque storytelling, like Bloodsport, like Kickboxer, sidekicks with
Chuck Norris.
With Chuck Norris and what was that kid's name?
I forgot his name. Unfortunately,
John DeBrandis, rest in peace.
Yeah, and Mako was his Sifu.
Yes. I enjoy the movie.
You must team up with Chuck Norris in order to restore honor to your family.
Do not be like my nephew Zuko. Anyways, so overall, I enjoy this movie. There's not really much I can say. I love the chemistry between Pat Morita and Ralph Macchio. I love the chemistry between him and Elizabeth Shue. I really enjoy John Creese's actor Marvin Stokes.
Martin Cove.
Martin Cove. I love Martin Cove. I really love Marvin Cove. And I know there's going to be better villains coming up soon. But I like Martin Cove's character. And I just love the hijinks of the 80s. Like, there's not that many 80s movies I will say that I don't like, especially Karate Kid. Like, I enjoyed this movie. I'm gonna give it a solid 9 out of 10.
I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's a classic film. It's not the best one of the original trilogy for reasons we're gonna go into when we discuss the one I think is the best one. But you're right. One of the biggest highlights is the character chemistry between everyone with each other. Even though the fact that like Johnny was like trying to be casual with everyone, including Larusso, even though it's like, they got a thing going on. It's like we got a 6-week ceasefire. Let's make the most of it. But it's like, and of course the soundtrack was just really good. Like the song by Joe Esposito, like "You're the Best Around," is one of the greatest soundtracks. I still play that song when I'm like at the gym, like when I'm doing like leg presses or sit-ups. It's like you're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep me down. You're the best. And yeah, it's basically Rocky Balboa, but with teenagers. And no, for real though, it's like the entire franchise is basically Rocky Balboa, but with teenagers. And it highlights the you got the hearts, you got the fire. You never walk, you never run. You're running into the eye of the storm. It's like it's so good. I love it. You know, it's a fantastic movie series, and the one that started it all. It's like, who would have thought it would kickstart like this massive franchise where 30 years later you have a 6-season TV series and you still have movies being made 30 years later, 40 years later, actually.
Yeah. Overall, love the movie, and to our younger audience who grew up watching Cobra Kai, and if you haven't seen Karate Kid, you got to watch the movie. That you got to watch where Cobra Kai's humble beginnings, and that's and go back to 1984. And we will get to the other movies, and by other movies, I mean 4 and 5.
And yes, for some reason, the French title of the movies are listed there as well. And for some reason, the French name for the movies is The Moment of Truth. So it's like you got The Moment of Truth, The Moment of Truth Part 2, The Moment of Truth Part 3, The New Karate Kid. It's not even the next Karate Kid. The French name for the next Karate Kid is The New Karate Kid. And then the 5th one is just called Karate Kid.
I'm just going to say this. I am not looking forward to watching next Karate Kid. I am not looking for. I just want everyone to know.
Ironside is the villain.
I don't care. Look, I love as much as I love Michael Ironside. I've told you this off screen. I can't stand Karate Kid 4. I can't stand that movie at all. And I love Hilary Swank as an actress. I think she's a great actress who doesn't get enough credit. I can't stand that movie. And the fact that the movie is now canon. Here's a question.
I mean, it's always
hold on. You can spoil this for me. Does Hilary Swank show up in Cobra Kai?
Sadly, no.
Then what was the point of making everything canon?
But Mr. Miyagi was in it, and therefore it is canon.
If Kung Fu Kid, which is Jaden Smith's movie, is canon, why isn't Hilary Swank in this movie? In Cobra Kai, let alone. Matter of fact, if y'all seen Karate Kid Legacy, don't tell me what happened. I need to know Hilary Swank, but I really hope Hilary Swank shows up in that movie. I'll leave it
or at least gets referenced.
Yeah. All right. So let's read
even if Hilary Swank was too busy doing Yellowstone, to be in Cobra Kai seasons 5 and 6, I would still say like they should at least mention it's like, oh, Mr. Miyagi, you weren't Mr. Miyagi's only student, but he loved everyone, and then like make like a brief like nod or reference to Julia because clearly, you know, Daniel still spent time with Miyagi after the events of Karate Kid 4. So surely Mr. Miyagi would have mentioned Julia.
Yeah. Anyways, let's read the rest of these comments real quick. All right. I watched Pat Morita's documentary, and it sounds like him being born in the camps was the least of his trauma. Poor guy. Oh yeah. Like, hey, look, Pat Morita
was tough, man.
Hey, but listen, Pat Morita, God bless this man, and he lived a phenomenal life. I mean, hey, listen, if he can make a joke, if he can make jokes about being Japanese like this, and I'll just play this briefly.
Where's the Japanese guy in the whole world ever going to work the Apollo Theater? And, you know, he had a tough time convincing me. He says, oh, come on, Pat, just be yourself. I said, Red, I ain't been Japanese since December 1941.
It's true. Like, originally, Kato from Green Hornet was Japanese. But then because of December 1941, they changed his background to be,
Chinese.
He's Filipino. He's Filipino.
Oh, Filipino.
Who studied Japanese karate. But then in the 60s TV show, they changed his nationality again because he was played by Bruce Lee. And then they changed it again to Korean in the 2011 film.
Hey, yeah. You know what? Hey, real talk. I don't care what no one tells me. I really enjoyed that Seth Rogen Green Hornet movie. I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie. And considering the fact I didn't know a damn thing about Green Hornet, it was fun. I will go back. We have to review that movie. We have to give that movie a second chance.
Like for me, like I enjoyed the movie, but that's because I'm watching it as sort of like an affectionate parody to Green Hornet, rather than making it like an actual serious Green Hornet movie.
Yeah.
Like I would imagine that maybe Seth Rogen watched the TV show as a kid and wanted to like pay homage to it by making a comedy version of it. I mean, keep in mind when in the 60s, even though they had a crossover, 60s Batman was more of a comedy than anything else. Mm-hmm. But Green Hornet was a serious noir franchise, kind of like Starsky and Hutch.
Yup. I hope. Could you imagine Miyagi Silver and Kreese running the same dojo, and outsiders Larusso took the gangsta life after winning? Oh my god. You notice most of them have no technically have BFs or love interests, but still wanted Daniel to go out with them and be there.
Yeah.
No, it's the 80s. I'll leave that. It's the 80s. Oh, go ahead.
I love Martin Kosa financing ad where he opens a new dojo, Koala Kai.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
More mercy.
More mercy.
Yeah. All right.
Let's see. Silver was horrifying.
Yeah.
Tommy for Karate Kid 1. I hang it with. He's lit. Okay, cool. Johnny had dope hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he still does.
Yeah.
I wish Johnny would switch to the gangster. Oh my god.
What's with all this gangster life?
I don't know. We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise, man. I'm just saying. I wish Three Ninja Kids would have collabed with Ralph Macchio for a team up. I'll
say this.
You know what? No. Because I would have enjoyed the Japanese actor who plays their granddad and Matt Morita in one movie. I would love that. Personally, I would like that. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but he was also in Tremors.
Yeah. Johnny Be Good.
Yeah, we already read that one. I'm mad so far they haven't played any Everybody Wants Kung Fu. Okay, you know what?
Preston,
on that
you're
note,
killing it today.
On that note, we're done.
Julie was talking about Miyagi against Silver's moves. Remember in the barn, how could have taught Daniel those moves? She was taught by Miyagi.
Who's Julie again?
Hilary Swank's character.
Okay, that's what I thought. Well, we'll find out soon. But on the next review, guys, we will be reviewing Karate Kid Part 2. We will let you guys know when. But if you are still here, thank you guys so much for still watching. We are out of here. Please be sure to follow The Buttery Show on Instagram at The Buttery Show and youtube.com/The Buttery Show. I finally fixed the URL. We are just at The Buttery Show now.
Mm-hmm.
/ The Buttery Show. No numbers, just The Buttery Show. I fixed it. Mm-hmm. Tune in this week. My episode reviews of episode 9 and 10 of Gundam G-Quox will be up tomorrow and Thursday because it's about to go down. Mm-hmm. And follow me on, matter of fact, do we still have my banners?
Yeah, of course I do. It's just much lower down because you haven't been here for a while.
Follow me on Instagram and on X at @TheReckless_Fox, and follow me on twitch.tv/RecklessFox. I'll be coming back to playing. It's been like a week. Actually, I streamed last time. I streamed was Money in the Bank. We did a reaction to Money in the Bank. WWE Money in the Bank. I'll be back finishing off Resident Evil 4, and as I've said before, I'll be posting a poll on my Instagram to see what games you would like for me to play next. Would you want me to finally tackle the Yakuza series, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Metroid Dread, or the Uncharted series?
All 5 Metroid games.
No, we're only doing Dread.
No, come on. You got to do Zero Mission.
I don't have Zero Mission money.
You have a Nintendo Switch.
I don't have that stupid Game Boy Advance thing where you have to pay the expansion. I'm not going to do that.
Then do it the Kaizokoi which we do
Look.
not approve of.
Oh no, I approve of it. I approve of that. I will do that part. I'll do that. But Nintendo can. I have a lot to say about Nintendo and the Switch 2 fiasco, but this is not the time to do it.
Yes, and you can find me. You can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. And also check out our sister channel, the Morphin Network, where we do various tokusatsu projects such as discussing Ultraman Z, Kamen Rider Gov, #1 Sentai Gojuger, and of course the original Kamen Rider. This Sunday we're going to be discussing the second film in the original Kamen Rider versus Ambassador Hell. And we'll only have about 19 more episodes left to review. It's such a long season. And of course, for both of our channels, we did a lot of interviews across 2 conventions, including all 3 cast members of the VR Troopers. So we're super excited. And of course, on this channel, you can watch our interview with Sean Kanan, the bad boy of karate himself, Mike Barnes from Karate Kid 3. And we will address it further in our review of Karate Kid 3. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please be sure to stay safe, stay hydrated, update your emergency kits, hug your loved ones, enjoy the summer, don't destroy people's radios, and have a wonderful weekend.
Till then, peace. Wax on, wax off.
Whoosh, whoosh.